Remember when the FBI tried to label angry school parents as domestic terrorists? Well, it turns out they tried to do the same thing with Catholics. And now, lawmakers, rightly so, want answers. House Republicans are demanding FBI Director Chris Wray turn over documents related to a leaked internal memo. Thank God for whistleblowers. That memo claimed traditional Catholics could be, quote, racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists. The FBI quickly rescinded it once they got it out. They said it's a local issue, but how soon before they started dressing churchgoers at Sunday Mass and targeting them? Here with me now, 2020 Libertarian Vice Presidential Candidate and chair of YouAreThePower.net, Spike Cohen. He's fired up about this. Spike, are there no good Catholics left at the FBI? This malingered there for quite some time.
Well, apparently there are no good Catholics left anywhere. If you prefer the Latin Mass, or if you use the rosary, or you like imagery like the rosary or like crucifixes, you are possibly a terrorist, according to the FBI. So that's a devastating thing, because Catholicism is one of the largest religions, not just in the U.S., but in the world. So the fact that we're facing billions of potential terrorists across the world is very concerning. If it makes Catholics feel any better, you can add crucifixes and rosary to the growing list of seemingly fine, normal objects that the FBI sees as terrorism. I remember last year when they released a report on so-called violent extremists, and they said that some of the things that people should be on the lookout for, that their agents should be on the lookout for, was the wording of the Second Amendment, the Betsy Ross flag, the original American flag, and the Tree of Liberty quote from Thomas Jefferson, one of the founders of the country. So even just acknowledging American history, according to our government, makes you a potential terrorist.
Well, the FBI has their hands full between non-Catholic parents and all Catholics. That covers a pretty broad swath of the country. So the FBI, they just keep stumbling into bad news and overreach and spying and collusion, whether it's Twitter or improperly following up on claims of sexual abuse at the hands of gymnastics doctors. There have been so many areas where they have underperformed and overreached. When will the FBI finally get an audit?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things that scared me the most about this release was that it talked about source development. Now, I'll give you an example of source development that happened back in 2020. In the summer of 2020, the FBI released, and the government said that they were concerned about possible extremism among the people that were protesting, the various movements that were protesting police brutality. And one of the ways that they helped develop sources was by paying a man named Mickey Windecker, who was a violent sex offender. They paid him tens of thousands of dollars to show up and infiltrate these groups, encourage them to engage in violence, and to even try to organize the bombing of a courthouse. So this is part of the FBI's MO. In order to try to justify their funding and, frankly, their existence, they create their own boogeymen. They create terrorist organizations, or they create extremists, and then use the existence of those extremists to justify their existence. And what that means is that you have the U.S. taxpayer that is funding an organization that acts as sort of a violent political Stasi that also dabbles in creating terrorist groups.
Yeah, well, you also have the Southern Poverty Law Center, which brands anyone who claims they have Christian faith as radical extremists. And the FBI cited a report from them in its memo. And, you know, they're also citing The Atlantic and Salon and other sort of leftist publications. And it reminds you of the Carter Page FISA warrant application and the BuzzFeed literature that was used to justify that was actually leaked from the FBI to BuzzFeed. So there's a lot of circular wankery going on, for lack of a better term.
Exactly, and you know, if it makes everyone feel better, the circular wankery is nothing new. This is COINTELPRO under a new name.
Yes.
The FBI has always existed. It was created illegally. It has always existed as a political organization. By its own metrics, it is a bad law enforcement organization because it isn't a law enforcement organization. It should have never existed, and it should be abolished yesterday.
Wait till Spike is the law. There will be no more FBI. Spike, thank you so much.